Your salary is losing value, even if it's increasing. Many people assume that getting a raise or seeing their salary increase automatically means they are financially better off, but in reality, this is not always true. The value of money is constantly shifting due to inflation, meaning that even though your paycheck might be larger in nominal terms, it could actually buy less than before. Rising salaries might make you feel wealthier on paper, but if everyday expenses, from groceries to housing to healthcare, are increasing at a faster pace than your income, your purchasing power is steadily declining. Understanding the difference between nominal pay, the number on your paycheck, and real pay, the amount of goods and services your salary can actually purchase, is essential to grasp why more money doesn't always equate to more financial security. As costs of living skyrocket in cities and across essential sectors, many employees unknowingly find themselves in a situation where they are working harder, earning more, yet financially worse off in practical terms. This hidden erosion of income highlights the importance of looking beyond salary numbers and focusing on the real value of money in the context of the economy, inflation rates, and day-to-day expenses. Rising salaries not equal to more buying power. At first glance, a salary increase seems like a straightforward reward for hard work. It feels good to see a larger number on your paycheck, and it's easy to assume that this means you are moving forward financially. However, the reality is often very different. If your pay rises at a slower rate than the increase in prices for everyday necessities, your apparent gain is mostly an illusion. Even with a higher nominal salary, you may find that your ability to afford more goods, save for the future, or invest in long-term goals has barely improved. The paycheck grows, but your lifestyle may remain stagnant. Many employees fall into the trap of celebrating nominal raises without fully considering their effect on actual living standards. The increase in income is often swallowed up by the rising costs of essentials such as rent, groceries, utilities, and transportation. What feels like extra money is, in reality, just the amount needed to keep up with expenses that have climbed alongside your paycheck. This mismatch creates a scenario where employees are working harder and earning more, but seeing little tangible improvement in their daily lives. Lifestyle inflation further complicates the issue. As salaries rise, people tend to increase discretionary spending, whether it's upgrading their car, moving to a larger home, or indulging in luxury items. While these changes may feel like progress, they often mask the slow erosion of real wealth. Over time, these incremental increases in spending can leave individuals financially stretched, despite a nominally higher income. Employers also sometimes use small, incremental raises as a way to reward employees while barely improving their financial position. A 3 to 5% annual increase may feel generous, but if inflation or local living costs rise faster, it doesn't actually enhance purchasing power. Workers may feel rewarded in the short term, but over several years, the gap between nominal earnings and real-world financial capability becomes increasingly apparent. Ultimately, a bigger paycheck does not automatically translate to a better life. True financial progress depends on what your income can actually buy, your real purchasing power. By focusing on real income instead of nominal figures, employees can gain a clearer understanding of their financial health and make smarter decisions about spending, saving, and long-term planning. Inflation eats raises. Inflation is a silent, pervasive force that gradually erodes the value of money over time. Even when salaries increase, rising prices can offset these gains, leaving workers effectively poorer despite earning more. When the cost of essentials such as food, housing, healthcare, and energy climbs faster than wages, a raise may feel meaningful, but in reality, it may not even cover the added expenses. This is why many people experience frustration. They are putting in more effort at work but not seeing a noticeable improvement in their quality of life. The impact of inflation is often subtle but cumulative. Small increases in the price of gasoline, groceries, and utilities may seem manageable on a day-to-day basis, but over the course of months and years, they significantly reduce the practical value of your income. Even substantial raises can be swallowed up entirely by these rising costs, leaving employees no better off than before. This slow erosion makes it easy to overlook the real effect of inflation on your financial well-being until it has already taken a sizable toll. Inflation also complicates long-term financial planning. It can make it harder to save for retirement, pay down debt, or invest in major life goals. Even when you are earning more than before, your real income may not be keeping pace with the rising costs around you. Without understanding how inflation impacts your salary, you may overestimate your financial progress and underestimate the challenges you face in maintaining or improving your lifestyle. While some employers provide cost of living adjustments, COLAs, to help offset inflation, these are often insufficient. If adjustments fail to match or exceed the actual inflation rate, us employees are left with a slowly declining standard of living. Many workers do not receive annual COLAs at all, leaving them vulnerable to inflation over multiple years. Raises may provide short-term satisfaction, but they rarely protect fully against the steady erosion of value caused by inflation. Understanding how inflation eats raises is essential for evaluating your real financial position. A larger paycheck is meaningless if the increased income cannot maintain or improve your lifestyle. By measuring raises against inflation and cost of living trends, you can determine whether your income is genuinely growing in real terms, or merely keeping pace with rising prices. Nominal versus real pay. Nominal pay refers to the amount written on your paycheck, the number you see every month or year. Real pay, however, now accounts for inflation and represents the actual purchasing power of your income. While nominal pay may increase steadily, real pay can remain flat or even decline if the cost of living rises faster than wages. Focusing solely on nominal figures can lead to a false sense of financial progress, making it seem as though you are moving ahead when in reality, your ability to afford essentials has not improved. Understanding the difference between nominal and real pay is crucial because it determines your true financial position. A salary increase of $5,000 may feel substantial, but if inflation has risen 10% during the same period, that raise may buy less than your previous income did. Ignoring real pay can make budgeting, saving, and investing decisions far less effective, as the apparent gain may not reflect the reality of day-to-day expenses. Real pay is the measure that indicates whether you are actually getting ahead. It determines whether you can increase your savings, invest in assets, or improve your standard of living. Without considering the effects of inflation on your salary, you may overestimate progress and miss opportunities to protect and grow your wealth. The distinction also matters in broader comparisons. Two employees may receive the same nominal raise, but if one lives in a high inflation region or experiences a higher rise in local costs, their real pay will lag behind the others. Ignoring this difference can lead to misunderstandings about fairness, performance, and financial security across industries or geographic locations. Focusing on real pay helps workers make informed decisions about financial priorities, whether it's saving, investing, or planning for the future. By comparing raises to inflation, employees can accurately assess whether their income growth is meaningful and whether their financial strategies are sufficient to maintain or improve their lifestyle. Cost of living skyrockets. In recent years, the cost of living has increased dramatically in many cities and regions. Housing prices, rent, energy bills, and food costs are climbing at rates far faster than most salary increases. Even as wages rise, the rapid escalation in everyday expenses can make it feel like you are constantly playing catch-up. Workers often experience the frustrating reality that despite earning more, they can afford less than they could in previous years. Housing costs are among the most significant contributors to this problem. Rent and property prices have soared in many urban areas, consuming a larger portion of monthly income. For many employees, a raise is often absorbed entirely by these increasing costs, leaving little room for discretionary spending or saving. What seems like financial progress is often offset by the steep climb in basic living expenses. Food and essentials have also become more expensive, driven by inflation, supply chain disruptions, and global market trends. Even small increases in grocery bills accumulate over time, putting additional pressure on households. Utilities, healthcare, and transportation costs follow similar upward trajectories, further reducing the real value of salary increases. As the cost of living escalates, employees must carefully evaluate how their income aligns with expenses. A paycheck that once felt sufficient may no longer cover basic needs, forcing workers to adjust their lifestyle, cut discretionary spending, or even take on additional work. The gap between income and cost of living can grow quickly if salary increases do not match these rising expenses. Understanding the impact of skyrocketing living costs is crucial for financial planning. By keeping track of local economic trends, workers can better anticipate challenges, negotiate raises that reflect real cost increases, and make informed decisions about housing, savings, and long-term investments. Without this awareness, even a substantial nominal salary may leave employees feeling financially strained. Purchasing power decline. Purchasing power is the ability of your income to buy goods and services, and it is the ultimate measure of financial well-being. When salaries fail to keep pace with inflation and the rising cost of living, purchasing power declines, meaning that each dollar you earn buys less than it did before. This decline can happen gradually, often going unnoticed until it has a significant impact on lifestyle, savings, and overall financial security. A decrease in purchasing power affects not just large expenses but everyday essentials as well. Groceries, transportation, energy bills, and healthcare can take up an increasingly larger share of income, leaving less money for discretionary spending, emergencies, or savings. Over time, even steady nominal salary increases can fail to maintain or improve your standard of living if purchasing power continues to erode. The decline in purchasing power also impacts long-term financial goals. Saving for retirement, paying off debt, and investing in property or education become more challenging when your real income is shrinking. Workers may find themselves needing to work harder or longer simply to maintain the same quality of life they enjoyed previously. Purchasing power is further influenced by regional differences. Inflation, housing costs, and local economic conditions can vary widely, meaning that two employees earning the same salary in different cities may experience vastly different real incomes. Understanding these factors helps individuals make smarter decisions about where to live, how to budget, and how to plan financially. Ultimately, maintaining and growing purchasing power requires more than simply earning more on paper. Employees must account for inflation, cost of living increases, and changes in prices for essentials to ensure that their salary truly improves their financial position. Without this awareness, even generous raises may do little to enhance quality of life or financial security. Hidden tax impact. Many employees overlook the subtle ways taxes erode the value of their salary. A higher paycheck often moves you into a higher tax bracket, meaning that a significant portion of your raise is taken out before it even reaches your bank account. While the gross salary appears larger, the net income, the money you actually get to spend, may increase far less than expected. In some cases, the raise can even feel negligible once deductions and higher tax rates are accounted for. This hidden tax impact can make it challenging for workers to feel the benefits of a nominal salary increase. Taxes don't just apply to income. Payroll deductions for Social Security, Medicare, and other benefits also rise alongside nominal pay, further reducing take-home earnings. Additionally, bonuses, overtime, and other forms of compensation are often taxed at higher rates, meaning that what seems like extra income can quickly diminish after taxes are applied. Without considering these factors, employees may overestimate the financial benefit of a raise. The hidden tax impact also affects long-term planning. When budgeting for monthly expenses, saving for emergencies, or investing, the actual money available after taxes is what truly matters. Overlooking the effect of taxes can lead to unrealistic expectations about disposable income and make it harder to meet financial goals. For higher-income employees, progressive taxation can create a situation where each additional dollar earned contributes less to net income than expected. This phenomenon can feel like a penalty on hard work, as the benefits of increased earnings are partially absorbed by higher tax obligations. Understanding how taxes impact real pay is essential for accurately assessing salary growth. Ultimately, awareness of hidden tax effects helps workers make smarter financial decisions. By calculating net income after taxes and planning for these deductions, employees can better understand the actual value of raises and manage their spending, saving, and investment strategies more effectively. Housing costs surge. Housing has become one of the most significant expenses for workers in recent years. Rent and home prices have skyrocketed in many cities, often outpacing salary increases. Even a substantial raise can be largely absorbed by rising housing costs, leaving little room for discretionary spending or savings. For many, the dream of affordable living or homeownership feels increasingly out of reach, even as their nominal salary grows. The surge in housing costs affects more than just rent or mortgage payments. Property taxes, maintenance, utilities, and homeowners association fees have also risen, adding additional financial pressure. These increases consume a growing portion of household income, making it harder for workers to allocate money toward other necessities or long-term goals. In many urban areas, a competition for housing drives prices even higher, creating a cycle where employees must devote an ever larger share of their income to secure a place to live. This leaves less financial flexibility, even when wages rise. Employees may feel that no matter how much they earn, the cost of housing keeps them from gaining financial stability. For those trying to save or invest, the rising cost of housing presents a significant barrier. A larger portion of income is devoted to maintaining a living space, leaving fewer resources for emergency funds, retirement accounts, or other investments. Without strategies to mitigate these costs, workers may struggle to make meaningful financial progress. Recognizing the impact of housing cost surges is essential for realistic budgeting and long-term planning. By factoring in these expenses, by negotiating rent or mortgage terms when possible, or exploring alternative living arrangements, employees can protect more of their income from being swallowed by housing costs. Debt drains. Income debt is another silent factor that can reduce the real value of a salary increase. Whether it's student loans, credit cards, personal loans, or auto loans, monthly debt payments consume a significant portion of income. Even as wages rise, high debt obligations can leave workers feeling financially constrained, with little extra money to save, invest, or spend on discretionary items. Interest payments can make debt especially burdensome. Credit card balances, payday loans, and variable rate debts can grow quickly, often outpacing income increases. A salary raise may be largely offset by rising interest or principal payments, preventing any meaningful improvement in financial flexibility. Debt also limits long-term financial opportunities. Money used to service debt is money that cannot be used for retirement contributions, home purchases, or emergency savings. As a result, employees may feel trapped in a cycle of earning more but struggling to make progress on financial goals. Even manageable debts can become stressful when combined with rising living costs and inflation. Employees may experience constant financial pressure, leading to difficult trade-offs between paying down debt and covering daily expenses. This reality emphasizes the importance of controlling debt and integrating repayment strategies into budgeting. Understanding how debt drains income helps workers make smarter choices about borrowing, spending, and saving. By reducing high-interest obligations and prioritizing financial freedom, employees can ensure that salary increases genuinely enhance their quality of life. Interest rate effects. Interest rates have a direct impact on your finances, influencing loans, mortgages, credit cards, and even savings. When interest rates rise, borrowing becomes more expensive, which can absorb a larger portion of your salary. A higher mortgage payment, increased loan interest, or rising credit card charges can quickly offset the gains from a raise, leaving workers with less discretionary income. Even modest increases in rates can have a noticeable effect on household budgets, especially for those with variable rate loans or significant debt. Higher interest rates also affect saving and investment strategies. While higher rates may offer slightly better returns on savings accounts, they often lag behind inflation, meaning that the real value of your money can still decline over time. Meanwhile, investments like mortgages or business loans become costlier, further straining monthly cash flow. Understanding how interest rates influence both income and expenses is crucial for long-term financial planning. Additionally, changes in interest rates can affect the broader economy, including housing markets and consumer prices. Employees may face indirect effects, such as higher rent due to increased mortgage costs for landlords or price adjustments in goods and services. Even when salaries rise, these macroeconomic effects can reduce the practical impact of income growth. Interest rate effects highlight the importance of strategic financial management. Workers need to anticipate changes in borrowing costs, adjust budgets accordingly, and consider refinancing or alternative financial options when rates fluctuate. Without proactive planning, salary increases may feel less impactful than expected. By accounting for interest rate effects, employees can better manage loans, maintain cash flow, and ensure that increases in income translate into real financial gains rather than being absorbed by higher borrowing costs. Salary comparisons mislead. Comparing your salary to peers or industry averages can be misleading if context is ignored. A high nominal salary in one city may not translate to the same lifestyle in another due to differences in cost of living, taxes, and local inflation. Without considering these factors, employees may assume they are doing well financially, when their actual purchasing power may lag behind peers in different regions or roles. Salary comparisons also overlook individual circumstances, such as debt levels, family obligations, and personal expenses. A raise that seems competitive on paper may not cover the unique costs each person faces, creating a false sense of financial security. Nominal salary alone cannot reflect the full picture of financial health. Additionally, salary benchmarking often focuses on industry norms, which may not keep pace with real inflation. Workers may feel pressure to match perceived peer earnings, but without factoring in rising costs, this can lead to overconfidence and poor budgeting decisions. See, understanding that nominal salary comparisons can mislead encourages a more individualized approach to financial planning. Employees benefit from analyzing their own expenses, inflation-adjusted earnings, and lifestyle requirements rather than relying solely on averages or benchmarks. By focusing on personal financial metrics instead of misleading comparisons, individuals can make smarter decisions about raises, budgeting, and long-term wealth accumulation. Invest to beat inflation. One of the most effective ways to protect the real value of your income is through strategic investing. Savings alone, especially in low-interest accounts, often fail to keep pace with inflation. By investing in assets that historically grow faster than inflation, such as stocks, real estate, or inflation-protected securities, employees can preserve and even enhance their purchasing power over time. Investing also provides a buffer against unexpected economic changes. While inflation erodes cash holdings, well-chosen investments can offer returns that compensate for rising costs. Diversification is key. A mix of stocks, bonds, and other assets can reduce risk while maximizing long-term growth. Education and planning are essential. Understanding market trends, risk tolerance, and investment timelines helps employees make informed choices. Even small, consistent investments can significantly outpace inflation over several years, turning nominal salary growth into meaningful real gains. Investing is also a proactive way to build wealth beyond what a salary alone can provide. While raises may cover short-term expenses, our investments can generate passive income, fund major purchases, and create financial security for the future. By committing to a disciplined investment strategy, employees can ensure that their hard-earned money not only keeps up with inflation, but grows in real value, preserving financial stability and expanding opportunities. Protect your real income. Protecting real income requires awareness of how wages, inflation, and expenses interact. It's not enough to simply receive raises. Workers must evaluate whether their income growth truly maintains or improves their standard of living. Tracking real pay, budgeting carefully, and accounting for rising costs are critical steps in safeguarding financial health. Cost management plays a key role in protecting real income. Being mindful of housing, food, utilities, and discretionary spending ensures that raises translate into tangible benefits rather than being absorbed by rising expenses. Small adjustments in spending habits can make a substantial difference over time. Strategic planning also helps. Using tools like inflation-adjusted budgeting, emergency funds, and investments designed to outpace inflation allows employees to maintain or grow their purchasing power. Preparing for changes in taxes, interest rates, and other financial variables is essential for long-term stability. Ultimately, protecting real income is about taking a proactive approach to money management. By combining awareness, discipline, and forward-thinking financial strategies, employees can ensure that salary increases lead to genuine improvements in lifestyle and financial security, rather than being quietly eroded by economic pressures. Your paycheck is only as valuable as what it can actually buy. Understanding inflation, costs, and real income is the key to financial clarity. By managing spending, investing wisely, and protecting your purchasing power, you can turn nominal raises into real progress. The goal is not just earning more, but ensuring your money truly works for you